Hello everyone and welcome to something that we haven't done in a while, which is a look at a fresh in development indie title. This is Dungeon Dashers, a game developed by Jigsaw Studios. Not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but I believe that's around approximately correct. This game is currently available on the developer's website, where you can pre-purchase it, get access to the beta instantly, and as of tomorrow, the 25th of October, it will be available on Steam Early Access for, I believe, the same price is available for now, $9.99 I would assume. Not positive on that, but that is most likely the price. The Steam Store link will be in the description once it goes up tomorrow. I'll edit that in as soon as I can. So what is Dungeon Dashers? Dungeon Dashers is a turn-based dungeon crawler in which you have four characters: Sir Jacob the Knight, Ryder the Rogue, Ardon the Mage, and January the Archer. And you get these characters throughout the game as you move forward. As well as, we'll get into this loadout screen here in a moment. We're actually going to jump back to the first little level here, where we will be going into just doing the tutorial-esque phases to give you an idea of the game. And then we'll quickly move on to more late game areas. Well, not late game, but earlier areas where I haven't beaten yet, I should say. But yeah, so this is the basics of the game, is that you are going to control these characters. There are up to four, as shown before, which, once it is done being developed, you will be able to actually play online, co-op, with up to four players. So the Rogue here has this ability called Blink, where if I hit Q, I can skip one space in any direction, which allows me to skip over that pit and cross the issue here. It does only have 2 space range, so you do need to be close enough where you're going to be able to pass through whatever's in the way, or pass over whatever's in the way in order to use it. That did take me a little while to figure out the exact mechanics, because I am not the brightest man at times. And so now we come to these rocks, which have too much space covered. So we take control of Sir Jacob the Knight, who is asking, "Where are you, wizard scum? Show yourself! Or are you too cowardly to face my cold steel?" So this guy is more of a warrior type, of course. So now if you'll notice, in the bottom right of the screen, we have our health bar, we have our turn order, which is shown by the pictures, and we also have this little blue bar at the bottom right, which says the number 17 right now. That is the number of action points that you have in a turn. Every action you take, whether it be moving or attacking, is going to take a certain amount of action points before the turn is switched over to the next character. While you're in battle, this number is very important to pay attention to in order to keep track of what you're up against. But yeah, in order to keep track of what you're up against, outside of battle it just becomes infinite, and you can switch turns between characters by pressing Enter, which is an ability that we don't actually have access to in this early part. Now, the Knight's main ability for Q is a charge, which allows him to break through these rocks and pretty much anything else in his way as he charges in a direction until he is stopped. So with that, we can stand here and do a charge in this direction and break through all these rocks. These different skills have uses in battle, of course, but also they're very useful for exploration. We're going to skip over most of the dialogue, not so much skip it as just I'm not actually going to read it all out. There is a lot of dialogue in this game. It is very much something with a story, so obviously the dialogue is important to read, but it is also something that, you know, if I spend a lot of time focusing on the dialogue, it's going to detract from what I can talk about the game with, because I'll be talking over it quite a bit. "What, you blinked? You're a wizard?" Sort of. I don't know why I've given all these people accents as I have, but... So here we get where we can press Enter to end the current hero's turn and move on to the next one, so we can get through this rock. And now we're into our second encounter, our first one where we have both characters involved. Now I do have an extra skill unlocked, which is this W skill. I'm not sure exactly what that does, but I'm offhand because I forget what the description of it was. It's been a couple days. Well, it's been a day since I put in my little bit of time to get familiar with this game. So I don't quite remember offhand exactly what the description of that is, but I believe it gives us bonus damage for sneak attacks for a couple turns. So if we can sneak up on this bat over here, or maybe it's just one turn, I'm not sure actually. But yeah, so each of the characters is going to have, I believe it's up to 4 ability slots active at a time. There are more abilities than that. And you can use those to your advantage to try to kill enemies easier. As I said, this is the very beginning of the game. This is the early segment where there's not very much in terms of difficulty. You'll also notice the gold count there. I currently, where my camera is, it's blocking off the area where you would otherwise see the gold counter up in the top right corner. So the wizard has a fireball attack, which you can use with Q. That's his main form of attacking. If you attack with his staff, not much is going to happen, but his fireball does a good amount of damage. So your main goal is going to be to use that fireball to your advantage. But yeah, so we aren't going to be seeing anywhere near all the content in the game in this video. This isn't a roguelike. It's not going to be something where each time you play it's different. This is very much a structured and designed game. So, you know, what you're seeing here is what you'll be playing through when you play the game. So now you got the elf coming in. But yeah, so what you see is what you're going to get when you play the game. Of course, you can always choose to play through in a different manner. But at the same time, this is going to be... It's not something where it's going to be randomized each time you play. It's not something where you can see all the content in one run of a small area of the game. It's something that to see all the content, you have to play through the whole game. So now our archer, much like our mage here, has a ranged attack, which you are going to use with Q. And then we're just going to get her out of harm's way here. I could have pressed enter to end the turn a little bit earlier. And so it becomes very important to pay attention to not just the enemies, but also to the turn order and your AP. You can see with my wizard, my fireball or my winter spell here are both going to take 7. I'll be honest with you, one thing that I haven't actually figured out how to do is to change targets when you're using your ability. We missed that second shot, so we're just going to come out of here out of harm's way. Neither of these guys have anything they can do. And then we come up here and we blast him with a fireball miss. Another one hits just fine. And then we'll end our turn here and go with our archer into the cavern where we have 93% chances to hit and take him out easily. But yeah, so this is something where each time you play, it's going to be the same game coming through. It's going to be something where you want to play through to try different strategies and such. Not so much something you're going to be playing through with a different setup each time. With our contraptions inhabited by tiny sprites, listening for the sweet echo of a bell, patiently they wait for your command. So pretty much what this is telling us is to take our archer and shoot this bell, which is going to open this gate. Bloody kids in their twitchy games these days. So as you can see, the dialogue is pretty fun to read. Like I said, I'm not reading it through mostly just so I don't distract myself too much with talking with just the dialogue all the time. But I do also want to at least keep it on screen long enough where you can read it and understand a bit of what's going on. So our archer is definitely in harm's way from this goblin. Then we're going to walk our mage in here, blast him with a fireball. We don't have enough to do it again, so we're just going to end our turn, walk our archer up, and finish the job nice and simply. The next thing I want to add is that this is currently in its current beta state. It is single player only. However, it is in development right now where it will be 4-player online or local co-op, which will allow you to obviously go on with friends, each take control of one of the 4 characters and play through, each taking turns controlling each character, which is pretty awesome sounding, I won't lie. I think this game would work really well in a teamwork driven experience, so I do look forward to trying out the multiplayer once it's implemented. Walk over another one of those blue checkpoints that teleport your team to you, and then we're going to stand on these guys here. There are also some other stuff we can see. We can see our current quest: kill 6 orcs, open 20 chests. We can, while holding tab which shows us that, scroll through any part of the map and look for what's going on. Obviously, if you've been watching, you see that encounters do not appear until you actually hit the encounter, so you can't use that to scout out where enemies are before you run into them. But you can run into it. You can use it to scope out where the level continues, look for hidden secrets and such within the level. Give me one moment while I take a drink. Finding themselves with no other direction but forward, they delve deeper through the passage of Rubicon. I didn't show off the intro cutscene, mostly because it takes a while. I was going to, but I felt like it wouldn't be a bad idea to just skip into the gameplay. So now these guys are going to have a little falling out. Sir Jacob there thinks that this wizard, Ardon, is a dark mage, the one who lured him into this cavern. No one's quite sure who Ryder is. And this elf says that her name is January. Yes, like the month, that's my name. And then this guy's like, I'm Ryder. It's really cold in here. Can we get moving? So now we have our first encounter of this level. Press and hold tab to enter tactile mode. Tactical mode also displays your current quest, which can be completed on any level. So now obviously with the turn order here, you can see that after Ryder moves, we're going to have a string of other characters going at us. It's not our turn again until the enemies have moved. So what I think my best course of action here is going to be is to lure the enemies toward us by way of getting out of harm's range, and then using my range classes to take out this first wave here. I was going to say he might be able to hit us from that angle, but most of these guys aren't going to be a concern to us until we get into the next segment. This guy will hit Ryder again, yep. But now we can step out with our archer. I don't know why I just took out one of those bats instead of doing something that made sense. We can step out with our wizard. I'm still trying to figure out how to switch targets. Give me 1 second while I try to figure this out. So control cancels it. Obviously Q casts it. I'm honestly not sure, to tell you the truth. Then we're going to take Sir Jacob in here, and we are going to use him to kill this orc, or this gnome, whatever he may be. And then we're going to take Ryder to scout out up ahead, clear out some boxes, and kind of get out of harm's way out in this corner here. So our knight is going to take some damage, but obviously he has the highest defense. So that is something that is not too big of a problem. Norden popped up, and it didn't really cause many problems except for making my audio slow. So we got 14 action points left. Each arrow costs us 2. And then we are going to blast him with Fireball. And we could try to hit him for 70%, but I think the better choice is to get our wizard out of harm's way. Then we shall do the same with the knight, except we're going to take him further forward and put him off to this side. And then with rider, we're actually going to use our W ability and hit this archer twice. He gets one hit in on us, not a big deal. And we can finish things off with an arrow. And now we have finished the encounter. So this is how most encounters are going to play out. It's very much tactical, placing your characters where they will take the least amount of damage, and planning for what's going to go on. You may press shift at any time to fast forward the enemy's turn. You may also press shift to fast forward crucial, extremely well written dialogue and cutscenes. Last time I pressed shift at that moment, I was kind of hoping that there would be a little bit more dialogue after that if you didn't skip it, but so I'm really not sure if maybe you can't shift your target, or if it is just a matter of it takes the target with the most chance to hit automatically. I'm not entirely sure how that works. But I'm also very new to the game and still very much learning it, so if that's the most confusing thing I'm going to run into, I'm not too concerned about that. So these archers are going to come over here. They can't hit us though. We have everyone structured pretty well. Once you learn that the blue bar is your action points, the game becomes much simpler to plan out your attacks. My first run through, I actually didn't put that together. And when I was playing through these levels, I was taking a lot of damage from just messing up and not planning my moves right. So we're going to real quick use the wizard's ice ability on this bad, which does have a cooldown timer on it, unlike our Q move here, which has taken out a good deal of our enemies. We're going to take our knight in here, take out those guys, and then get back into cover. So now Ryder is always he's always a character who can't take much damage, so we kind of want to keep him out of harm's way when not much is going on, or when there's not a possibility of him getting hits. We're going to take one pot shot at that archer and then get back out of harm's way, and end our turn, let the enemies go through. We'll fast forward through their turn because not much is going to happen. I'm going to walk in here with Ardon and start blasting these fools with magic. We don't have enough AP to actually accomplish anything. So now we're going to run in here with Sir Jacob, try to finish this guy off with our sword. Rider we can use to make some heavy progress in here. Now if we pull this lever, it is going to essentially turn off the spikes that would turn on if I pressed on that little platform over there. So we don't really want to particularly start those spikes. We got an 83% chance, so might as well just take the hits there. And then we want to switch to, we want to scroll through our turn abilities till we get to Rider here. Now we want to be Rider because if we go over to, well, we got this chest here, of course, but if we go over this way, there's a little maze of swords that is for Rider to pass through. So I don't quite remember exactly how I did this, but it wasn't too hard. It is, the first puzzle of this sort in the game. We need to switch over to our archer now, who can come in here and hit this bell, which will turn off these spikes. And then we switch over to Rider. We can open both of these chests. There is no quicker way to get back than the path we took to come in here. So we are just going to walk our way back out and move on with the level. So this is the basic gameplay that you'll be going through of Dungeon Dashers. It is very much a tactical turn-based dungeon crawler, as mentioned before. And it's something where you're going to want to pay attention to what you're doing, how many action points you're keeping yourself with, all that kind of good stuff, to make sure that you have a chance to get through without taking too much damage. Now there are some factors I have not seen the purpose for yet. For example, I have not run into a place to use the gold that I have picked up. I'm sure there is something like that in the game. I just have not run into it yet. We're going to take out that Goblin Archer. End our turn. Now if I'm right, I'm not going to be able to hit anyone else from here. We can at least get these boxes out of the way. Come in here. We're going to use our freezing attack. And that should keep him frozen for the time being. We'll get our knight moved up to kind of tank some damage for us. We'll actually kind of block that guy in. Then we're going to come up here with the Rider, and we're going to use his W move. Should give us some bonus damage against that guy, even though I haven't looked up the exact details of that skill just yet. But as expected, we kind of blocked that guy in. The enemies couldn't do a whole lot to us. We can shoot that guy once with our arrow, move up because there's no reason not to. Fireball him for the finisher. Come up here, fireball this guy. That's enough of that guy's turn. And then we can finish him off with Sir Jacob. But yes, I haven't found out the use for the gold yet. I'm sure there is one. I just haven't run into it. And of course remember that this is all still in development, so all subject to change. To prevent being eaten by large monsters, try to taste terrible. Sounds like a plan. So now we step on that, it teleports 3 of them onto their places. We jump onto the 4th, and we're good to go. So we got 3 out of 3 chests, we got 44 gold, and killed 19 enemies. And then we're going to go to customize characters here real quick to show off this screen. So this is where you are able to change up how your characters work. There are different weapons that you can unlock. I haven't actually found any just yet. Same thing with armor. Apparently 2 more equipment slots. In terms of skills, there are the ones that there is your base skill, which is always active, which is your primary skill. That one for the knight here is charge. Then there are secondary skills, which you can choose from none, or this variety of skills over here that are locked and unlocked as you play through the game, which does give you the ability to go back in the game later when you have more skills unlocked and try to play through with a different skill set that you are made from ones you unlock later. So now we're back to where we were when I started the video, to the content that I have not yet seen. Before you go, this little white symbol apparently teleported them all to me. I wasn't sure if that was going to do the same thing as a blue symbol or not. So we do have an encounter here. There's one big guy in there, as well as a bunch of bats and such. We can step on this mid-battle, which is probably not the best of ideas, but I thought that it might work, so I guess we're going to end our turn here, which is going to give them plenty of time to do something. This bat did a bit of damage. This is definitely the biggest encounter I've seen thus far, which makes sense, this is the farthest in the game I've been. We have a Minotaur up there, we have another big guy down lower that we pointed out already. A few archers, we got a couple skeletons, a couple bats. Lots of stuff going on right here. I forgot that I could be fast forwarding through this. Take out these bats, because that might not have been the best decision, but they were the most immediate threats. So now Minotaur does not have very many moves, which is good. It means that we're going to be able to kind of kite him, hopefully. We got these skeletons slowly moving out before we get to our wizard's turn. We are going to try to take out as much as we can with him, which was both of those guys. And then we can move him back up a little bit. We have cut off that one path by way of... Okay, I can't actually charge that direction. So it's going to take them at least another turn to get over here. Because they're going to have to walk around that pit. I wasn't sure if that was an area that we could pass through or not. Oh god, what have I done? I have locked Rider in a horrible position. Luckily only these 2 archers get a move before I can finish off this big guy. But Rider is not in a good place right now. we are going to not waste a lot of action points on that because we could do it easier. You can hit one of these archers now. I don't know if that was the best decision because it does leave me relatively exposed. Minotaur is taking the route close to the wall here. So I'm not sure if it was a good decision to keep that switch with the spikes up. In fact, I think I might open that up now. It does open us up on a second front, but oh god, I thought I was gonna have more moves to get away after that. Let's go help out with Ryder. I was gonna say we should get a critical from trying to attack him from behind when we had that skill active. Now, the problem here, of course, is that we have a couple of guys who are very, very exposed right now, which is not something I'm happy about. I did not plan this out well. Minotaur is not going to die quite so simply. He just did a lot of damage to Ryder. Weren't able to do a whole lot to that guy. But we did manage to get him down that turn, which was important. You can finish out the skeleton. Now, Ryder is low on health, so we want to get him out of dodge here. We want to put him somewhere safe where he's not going to get attacked next turn. And these archers at this point should not be a problem for us. Good, 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 good. Everything went according to plan there. So I probably didn't play that battle as intelligently as I should have, but it worked out for us. Just going to smash some crates with the remainder of our turn. We're going to take Ardon over here to blast this guy with a fireball twice, and that'll finish off that room, open up that gate over there for us. And now we can kind of explore and open up all this stuff. So let's take real quick a look at the level around here. So this room kind of cuts off. It was only important to unlock that area, which goes down to the finishing room here, which has a variety of different obstacles involved. So we might be able to just go to the exit if we so chose. We can also go up here where there is a little bit of a blink puzzle that'll get through those spikes, a room up there with a chest. We've got this path to the right where there is a important looking chest that we're going to want to go take a look at. So for now we're going to clear out this room, but we aren't just going to go straight toward the exit, which is possible. This might be the last level that we show off in this video. It is at about a half an hour. So this might be the last area of the video, but in the meantime we are going to try to take advantage of the areas that are open to us and do things as we can. So we're going to take our wizard over, or actually we're going to take Ryder over here. I'm not quite sure how health regen works. We're going to use that to teleport our guys back. But yeah, I'm not quite sure if there is any regen to health, or if it is something that slowly works its way out over time, or what, but we want to go up there, but do we want to go over here first? Let's go the easier looking way first. I am a bit worried about if we run into an encounter. Ryder's health is low and we need him to get that next area. So we don't want to start an encounter with Ryder, because with his low health he is going to have some trouble surviving. And we also never want to start an encounter when everyone is far removed from the area where it will be. You know, if you do that, then you're just asking for that character to be ganged up on until you can get everyone caught up over here while they're on a turn limit. If we move them all before we start the encounter, we have no limit to our moves, and we can get them moved over here pretty simply. So we're just going to move everyone into a line. I kind of want to open the door with our knight because he will be able to take the most damage. And it is a room full of orcs. Well, this is awkward. For Ryder's turn, I think we're best served just to skip. He's low enough on health where I don't want to risk him. I guess we'll attack that orc instead of the one that was closer. And then we can fireball, fireball again. We took out one of them at least right now. Sir Jacob is still kind of in trouble here. These orcs are doing a lot of damage. We are going to kind of get him out of dodge for right now as well. Ryder, we should be able to run up here, take a strike, and then get back out of the way. It is just a little bit of damage, but can take out that orc, get a hit on him, freeze him, and then... Oops. Oh, I can't hit a frozen target. Got it. So now Miss Archer is going to take damage now, unfortunately. But this battle isn't going horribly for us, it's just not going great. Oops, I did not mean to use blink. I'm going to attack one more time, then move back some. Hit him once, hit him once, hit him once. And then by the time we've done 3 fireballs on this guy, it was guaranteed pretty much to have him killed. And we completed that room pretty easily. It could have been a little bit neater. We took probably more damage than we had to. But we did pretty well on it as a whole. So I'm happy with the way that went. And now we're going to walk our way downwards to this area down here, where we can once again call our guys back before going to this bigger puzzle room up here. And then eventually, once we've beaten that, we can move onwards to our exit. So once again, I don't know if there's going to be an encounter, so I want to get everyone moved up here before we do open that door. Obviously, health is becoming a little bit more worrisome at this point. Everyone's getting a little bit lower. Probably could have done better by using up our techniques, but I once again kind of forgot to remind myself of what each of them do, so that doesn't help. I may also consider doing more videos on this game. I may actually consider doing a full playthrough on camera. I am very much enjoying it so far. I highly recommend you pick it up on Early Access tomorrow if you have nothing against Early Access games. I think it is well worth it. And I think that you will have a lot of fun if you do pick it up. Obviously once cooperative is put in, it will be a little bit different of a game. But now we can blink up here, blink over here, hit this switch, which is going to free our knight again and allow us to come over here. Oh, put the spikes down as well. So now we take our mage and hit that, which is going to lower all of those things, and now we're free to collect the loot. So that was a pretty simple puzzle as a whole. We got a new item unlocked. Not sure what it is just yet, but we'll check that out on the customization screen. But yeah, sorry, my voice is kind of acting up. I have a bit of a stuffy nose at the moment. Yeah, I think that if you enjoy dungeon crawlers and if you enjoy strategy-based turn-based strategy games, I guess is a better way to put that. Strategy-based turn games, that sounds kind of boring. Here, you must use strategy to turn this wheel as many times as you can. So I did not expect an encounter in that hallway, quite frankly, and so all of our people are kind of far back. Well, not all of them actually, only the mage and only the archer and the rogue. But yeah, this is a very fun game. It's like I said, assuming it's the same price as it is on the website, it'll be $10 for one copy, or you'll be able to buy a 4-pack if you want to be ready for when cooperative play is introduced, which is obviously more than a single copy would be. But yeah, so this is going to be available tomorrow. There's also, at least on the website, if you so choose, you can do kind of a support the developer type of purchase, which is, I believe it was $48 when I looked, and that is essentially, it'll make it so that you'll get your name in the credits as a special thanks, as well as you'll get yourself 4 copies of the game so that you're ready for online play when the time comes for it, and you'll get yourself obviously the current game as it is, all the updates, etc. So that's a possibility as well if you so choose to support the developers and go a little bit above and beyond. So we've unlocked a new skill for our Archer, as well as that new item we got. Once again, we got kind of a perfect score on that. So it looks like the item was for our Archer as well. So let's see, we got a new bow, Curved Redwood Bow. Speed is 0 instead of 1. Attack is 19 instead of 16. 3 action points for longbow versus 6 for the Curved Red Bow. Critical hit damage is 12 instead of 3. So this brings up everything but speed for us. I'm not sure how it interacts with our skill. I'm not sure if that changes depending on your bow. Devastating Firestorm. Do massive explosive damage to target and surrounding enemies. I don't see any reason not to equip that. But yeah, I'm not sure if this skill will change based on the bow I have equipped. If it does, that's actually really awesome. That'll help out a lot. Regardless, I'm going to call this episode for quits. This has been a quick look at Dungeon Dashers by Jigsaw Studios. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you pick it up on Steam Early Access tomorrow and have fun with it like I have been having. It makes you think, it makes you plan out your actions, and as we saw, I managed to pull out that victory, but it could have been a lot better. We could have taken less damage if I had planned ahead and used our skills better. Like, I'm pretty sure if I look at Sir Jacob's secondary skill here, attack 3 tiles in a line perpendicular to attack direction with high damage, would have been really, really good against the orcs when they were all lining up. But I didn't use it, and that was stupid. It does look like there are consumables as well that I just noticed was there. So that'll be probably how you heal up and such, is you find consumables and use those. Regardless, once again, thank you for watching. I will put the link to the Steam page in the description as soon as it is available. I will also have the link to the developer's website in the description as soon as this video goes live. Yeah, I highly recommend this game. It is another one that I'm having a lot of fun with. And I will see you next time. Take care, everyone.